So, a quick update before this podcast starts. And this mainly is for the YouTube channel. If you saw the last episode, I'm sure you noticed that the audio wave effect wasn't in there. And I was planning on putting it back this week, but I'm having issues with my audio program. And due to that, for the foreseeable future, I'm going to cut it out. Now, it may come back later on, but because of the issues I'm having and how long it's taking, it's going to be gone. So, good news is I'll be able to get done with podcast episode at a faster rate. But the bad news is you won't have a cool effect that you can look at, and all you're left now is with a static image for a while. So, hopefully we can fix that soon. But beyond that, the podcast is still always trying to get better, always trying to improve. We're not going anywhere. And yeah, here's another for you. So here we go.
Welcome to a new episode of Fit the Description, where various Black men come together to talk about life, society, entertainment, news, culture, and whatever else we want to talk about. I'm your host, G. We are now on Spotify, so definitely check that out. Audio only if you want to hear it. Now, it is delayed, but, once we got everything together, we're going to catch things up. But make sure to check us out on Spotify. Also, we're going to need your help for this podcast so we can get more views, more numbers. So make sure to subscribe, like, and share this podcast because we're not going to grow without your help. Make sure to do me a favor and share this podcast. Tell all your peoples about it. But anyways, let me introduce who's here tonight. So tonight we got Keith. So you want to say what's up real quick, man?
Hey, what's up, guys? Rope.
And James, are you there? Or are you still muted? Yeah, there we go.
What?
And we got James tonight.
Nope.
But anyways, we got some topics for you guys today, and I don't know. I guess I'll start off with this one. I doubt any of y'all heard this story, so we may have to switch it up, but it's fine. I'll try it. Have you guys heard about what's going on with the Joe Budden podcast? Does anybody know about that or watch that?
I'm not a fan of Joe Budden, so I don't really care what he does with his life. So I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't really care what Joe Budden doesn't put food on my table. No, I don't. The last time I heard anything about Joe Budden, like, wasn't he talking about a tranny or something, or he loved a tranny? I don't know. Something about a tranny. I don't know.
No, nothing about that.
Joe
But
Budden.
I could have swore he was talking about a tranny that had a big butt or something like that. I saw something on one of them, like he showed me something on one of those shows that he was really obsessed over this tranny. I could have swore.
Yes.
What's it like? It kind of looked like. I mean, it might have been a movie. Like it kind of looked like a remake of Couples Retreat. I don't know. I just know he was really obsessed with this tranny, and it was really scary. So I pretty much stopped.
are you talking about that one like that documentary show that he's on?
I don't know. I said, I saw it on a YouTube clip, and he was showing me. And she said it's on TV, and I was like, "Why is he so obsessed with this tranny and its body?" Like, it was weird. So I kind of stopped fucking with Joe Budden, to be honest with you. Because I mean,
What's his name?
It's one thing if you say all that stuff about a tranny in your free time, but you go on live TV and be obsessed with a tranny that much. I don't know. That's kind of weird to me personally, but okay.
Oh man. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I didn't really watch that, but I know what you're talking about. But I mean, guess,
I don't make sense though.
Huh?
I don't make sense.
Oh,
I was like, that don't make sense to me.
I mean, I don't really know the context, so I mean, I can't really talk about it. Like, I know what you're
Okay,
talking
well, then
about.
what do you want to talk about
Well, no, I was
for
about to
Joe
break.
Budden?
No, I was about to break it down because it's actually currently
Okay,
going on. so,
okay.
so basically, what happens? I don't know if you guys know, but Joe Budden actually has a pretty big podcast going on right now, and basically recently. And I forgot. I think it's called Percentage Deal. I think that's what it is. But anyways, his podcast actually broke up after 7 years with like his co-host. And basically, the main thing that they were mad about is because I guess the way they wrote the contract was a percentage deal. I think James may know more about it than I would. And I mean, I'll have him. I'll see if he knows more about it. But anyways. I mean, because I don't know much about contracts like that. So
okay, but what happened? I just want to know.
I'm getting to it. I'm getting to it. Damn. Anyway,
I'm so impatient. I'm sorry.
I could tell. Well, we'll tell you. You've been like that your whole entire life. Fair enough, though. But anyway, so they basically broke up, his co-host and him, over the fact that I guess his co-host wanted to see the books, like the financial books, because they just wanted to see how where the money's going and how they're getting paid. And Joe Budden's like, no, you can't see it. That's basically what I got from it. But the big thing is that, I mean, they were a pretty big podcast. I mean, that's a big thing that I want to bring up. It's like they were actually a pretty big podcast that was definitely popular. They've been running for about 7 years. And I know you guys haven't watched it, but I definitely watched it. Yeah, it was really good. And I don't know, to me, to lose two guys who kind of started something with you, and to kind of, because the way it sounded, kind of like weighed them off, like, you know, I run this and stuff, and I get it. I definitely get it. And maybe I'll go in more with this podcast, but I guess my question to you, Keith, I guess my question to you, Keith, is I guess if you run a company and, you know, you started with like, you know, other people and it became a hit, and then, I mean, would you be so quick to kind of, you know, get rid of them if you own everything, you know, like?
Yes. I wouldn't think twice about it. Cut the fat, trim the fat, trim the fucking fat. If these people are holding you back from bigger and better ventures, cut the fat. This is a cutthroat world. Dog eat dog. Do whatever needs to be done to trim the fat, because if those people are holding you back, kill them before they kill you. That would be the lucrative answer. But the truth is, I really don't know. It just depends on
the situation.
You know, yeah, it just depends on the situation. I mean, if we started something, I could never just abandon the people that came up with me, especially if it's only two other guys. It's like, yeah, you know, if I put it to you like this, if time goes on and you're not able to talk to these guys, then yeah, like that's kind of on all three of you. It's like, if you guys aren't at a place where you guys can communicate all the time and, you know, at least be able to talk, then yeah, like maybe you shouldn't go into business. But I do feel like communication is the only way that gets stuff done. You know, you've got to talk about things. You got to be open. You got to be honest with, especially if it's like the main guys who are doing stuff. But I mean, if he had to cut him off after 7 years because he got a better venture deal, but like Joe Budden's like, he's like 40 or 50 years old or whatever. Like, he's older. So I mean, it was probably just a power play. I mean, that's all that was for him, probably.
As somebody who's been kind of paying attention to it and watching it, I mean, thing is, you know, I'm one of those people that look at pattern. And yeah, to me, I mean, Joe Budden kind of has a pattern of just to be honest, self-sabotaging himself. And I just think the way he went about it, like after watching it, in my personal opinion, I'm like, it could have been handled better. Talking to somebody else, not on the podcast, but talking to somebody else, it kind of sounds like, in my personal opinion, well, like I just said, he mismanaged the situation, but I don't think he kind of understands what that deal was, which from my basic understanding, it's basically a percentage deal where we're basically as a podcast does, you know, as a podcast does better, they do better, which it. But again, I'm not sure if that you see, like I don't know much about stuff like that. I mean, I gotta learn about it, but I don't know much about stuff like that. The big issue was just, they just wanted to see the book, so they knew what was going on and they could track pay. And I'm not sure, but I think legally, depending on the situation, I don't know enough about that deal, but depending on the situation, I think they are entitled to seeing the books because of the way they signed the contract. And I guess they were upset that all they got was a PowerPoint. And yeah, I do think that, I think legally, and again, I don't know if it works. I mean, I think legally, yeah, like just so you know how you get paid and how the money is distributed. I mean, I don't know. To me, that's not a big deal if they're just kind of looking at their own stuff, But I think it just depends on if that contract was signed like that. But yeah, I think I agree with you at the end of the day. It's just all about communication, man. Like I think like when you do things, you just got to have an understanding of how things are and how things are going to go, So, hello.
Yep.
Wait a minute. Look who just came on, man.
I don't know who just came on. I'm not near my phone.
Oh, okay.
Who is it?
It's me.
Who the hell was that? Morpheus?
That was like the first moment to come on and say something.
It sounded like Morpheus. It's me, Neo. I've been here the whole time. Oh, you just got kicked in your chest.
Shit, man. Why don't you introduce yourself, man?
Hey, everybody. This is Adam Mitchell. How y'all doing today?
It's Morpheus himself. Oh, Mr. Kingdom Come. Mr. Revelation himself. Mr.
It's been a long time. How y'all
will
been?
never show his face again. Trying to find him is like trying to find Waldo sometimes. Jesus Christ.
I'm back, and I'm staying this time.
No, you're not. Don't see.
Yeah, I was.
You said that. As soon as you saw that, as soon as you said that, all I saw was ones and zeros.
No, this time I really am. I know it's been a while, but I've been like pretty much like just incognito ever since school started for me. I've just focused on that. I don't know. I've been out the loop of everything, like politics, music, games, everything to me has been kind of like I'm just now about to catch up and be just overwhelmed with all this information. Shoot.
You sound like Casino Man. Where the fuck you been at? Under a rock? Jesus Christ.
Man, I might as well have been at this point. I didn't even know a lot of stuff that's going on right now. I'm just like, when did this happen? When did that happen?
He's
For
like,
example,
he's like 2020. What? When did pandemic? Who? I've been stuck in that.
we're almost in 2022 now too. I'm just like, oh damn, half the year? Damn. I missed the albums. I'm a big J.Cole fan, and his album came out. I didn't even know. I thought he was still
speaking of that, I just listened to the whole album this morning, and
How'd you
my
like
God,
it?
I mean, I'm not a J.Cole fan, so I mean, I won't change the subject, but I feel about J.Cole.
Go ahead. That's fine. I haven't heard J.Cole, so if you and Adam listen to it, go right ahead.
Okay, well,
I haven't listened to it yet. Not yet. So you still have all the information right now.
I've heard his last two albums, obviously, and like I said, I'm not a J.Cole fan, but I put J.Cole in the same predicament as I put like Common and Mos Def and Kendrick Lamar. It's not for everybody. Because they're more of, what's the word I'm looking for? Like intellectual rappers or like spiritual rappers. They're not like, they're trying to and they're trying to better, they're trying to make you listen to it and better yourself. And I'm not with that. I
I
mean,
was just gonna say
I'm
smart.
yeah, yeah, smart, smart. Yeah, if you want to just dumb it down, smart. But there's nothing wrong with that. I just feel like these guys are just ahead of their time, and it's not me saying that I like any of the that's out now, because like all I listen to is older hip hop. Like I just listen to older hip hop. I don't listen to a lot of new stuff like that. Okay, stop,
You know
please,
what?
because I don't want you to obviously. I was just messing with you. I'm not trying to.
I'm right there with
But
you, though, man. Like I don't listen to a lot of the new rap or hip hop that's really out. Like right now, it's like I've been listening to a lot of older, and I understand like how our parents were, where they would just listen to some music and not listen to others because it's like this is what you grew up with. Yeah, I can listen to this, but it's like compared to what I listen to and this is totally different. Like, why? Why would you do this? And why
yeah,
would you say that? Why would you self-incriminate yourself? Or why do you do the stupid things you do? Like, the music is catchy. That's I might turn on something on the radio and I might hear it. It's like, oh, I like it. This is catchy. But I'm like, I
yeah.
can't really get with it because they don't. I don't want to say they don't sound smart, but it's like I know some artists are just putting on a show. They're not this at all, but it's like, yeah, I guess you do it too well. Now I really believe like you really think this way or you really want to do this, because it's like, why would you say these things?
Well, and like that's just like what's that guy who died? What's his name? Extension or whatever his name is. It's like that dude just
Oh yeah.
screams on every song. He just screams, and I'm like, what is he even saying? Like, I can't get past the screaming. Like, people say he was a great rapper, he was innovative, he was. How can you get past the screaming? Like, I can't hear anything. Like, I've only heard like
See,
two or
I,
three
I
songs from, but I'm just like, I can't take it. Like, that numbs the brain, man. That numbs
like
the
I'm good
mind.
with that. I only listened to a couple songs, but I do know that he was not technically considered a grunge rapper, but he was a grunge rapper,
Mhm,
like
mhm,
going towards metal and everything. So I'm like, yeah, that's
mhm.
different. That's something that I don't think a lot of people would even went in that direction, because that's not really hip hop or rap until he kind of went there and showed us, okay, yeah, you can do it that way. But still, yeah, I'm right there with him. Like, okay, um, I like this song, and that's it.
Like, yeah, and like I said, J.Cole is, like I said, it's not a terrible album. Like, I'm never gonna say it's a terrible album. It's just like like last time wasn't a terrible album. It's just the things he's saying, and honestly, I think people, like stuff that they can relate to. Like all these 23-year-olds and 25-year-olds like J.Cole, because they could kind of relate to J.Cole. I think that's the thing. I mean, I'm not saying that he hasn't had some songs that aren't aren't good. I like two of his older songs that come to mind. Like Role Models is good. Um Chris Tucker is good. Like I like those songs. Like those aren't bad songs. But that was like what, like 10, maybe 12 years ago now. Like, those are really old songs. Like those aren't new songs. So I don't know. I
Yeah,
mean,
especially, and
that's
then
just
you also go into the realm of like the mixtapes. It's like, okay,
yeah.
yeah, I like his mixtapes. His mixtapes were different too as well. I guess I do like that. I really do like the narrative of setting a story, rapping about it. And, he does still have some songs that are just kind of like, okay, but as I got older, I'm like, I want to hear certain music, or you know what? Let me switch it up. For example, Netflix has this new show. What is it? Upkeeping with the Shaws or something like that, right? With Mike Epps and Wanda, forgot her last
Sykes,
name,
yeah.
but
Yes, Sykes.
yeah, and it's a good show from what I've seen and everything. I didn't pick it
Mhm.
myself, but I came in when Brittany was watching, and I watched a couple episodes. I'm like, okay, this is different because they're acting the same and everything, and they're actually it's funny, like on a different level. But what I'm tired of I'm tired of seeing comedy shows with black people in it. Not in the sense of saying it like that. It's just when I look at something, it's like we fall in this genre, and it's like you can always catch us in this genre. And you might catch us outside of it every once in a while, but it's like, all right, with all the shows and 2020 being here, 2020 coming up, what else are we doing as a people, or people doing that's kind of like, all right, let me move in this area. Let me see what I can do over here, instead of staying over here where I know that this is the safety zone, because this is what we're all in, and this is what I can make good money in. Like my
Hey,
Judge,
man, I said the
he's
same
out there.
thing. I said the same thing. I was like, dude, you don't see a lot of all black doctor shows, or like, all black CSI shows, or like all black, things like that. Like, just like you don't see a lot of things, just like Adam just said. Like, all you see is comedy, because that's all we good for.
But yeah, I do
I
agree
just
with
saw
you
it.
with that.
And like I said, I don't like that part of, our genre is only good for those type of things. And like I've been saying that about movies too. It's like, yeah, it wasn't, yes, I mean, even I could admit, like, it wasn't until like Black Panther, it wasn't that we got really a lead. Like, yeah, I mean, it's been other lead superhero or anti-hero people, but it's like it just had to be a superhero movie. It's like, it's not really like we get a lot of, black leads. Even if it is a black lead, he's shadowed by like, a Brad Pitt, or, a whatever, a Tom Cruise, or whatever, the actor may be, and like I said, it's not like they don't try, but I mean, like I said, all the like older actors like Denzel, like, okay, he's a great lead, but Denzel's getting too old. Morgan Freeman, he's getting too old. Will Smith,
He's been old.
yeah, like, so that's what I'm saying. Like, Samuel Jackson can only keep doing what he's doing for so long. So it's like, and that's what I said. Like, it's not a lot of young black actors. It's like everybody says like, oh, Michael B. Jordan, because Chadwick Boseman was like what the second oldest or the third oldest like Avenger on like out of everybody on the list. Like, I think he was like number 2 or number 3. I really think he was number 2. Like, I think he was the second oldest from Iron Man, like Newby's Iron Man. Like, I think he was the oldest, and then it went Chadwick Boseman. So he wasn't a young black actor. He was still like 40 something. And it's like everybody thought that, oh no, he's just young. No, he wasn't young. He wasn't a young guy. It's like Michael B. Jordan is like the youngest person we have right now. But other than that, can you name another black young successful actor? No, it's like you really don't have anybody who's consistent. I mean, I would say like we got like John Boyega, but I mean, half the people in the world don't even know who the that guy is. And for anybody who doesn't know, it's the guy who played Finn in Star Wars. If if anybody doesn't know who that is, like, I'm a movie buff, so like I know these people's names and all that. Don't judge me or nothing like that. But I mean, yeah, he's like the only other young black actor that we have. But I mean, he's also like British too. So it's like we technically don't even have him. I mean, he's black, but
he's from another country, and that goes into another thing too. You're right on that. It's okay. So we have so many in here in America, then there's so many in Britain, then it's so many there. And I've seen, Netflix. I think Netflix itself, the company, is doing a better job than what the Hollywood is doing by all the shows that they're going. Black, Hispanic, Indian. They are doing an excellent job at that. But as we're looking, it's like, okay, Netflix took the step that they didn't need to step, but they seen it and they're like, we're going to do this. Because whether they were just like, okay, we're going to do this because this is the right thing to do, and the people in the upper echelon of the company are like, yeah, we're going to do this. whether it was a marketing move, whether it was a business move, or just because. Versus Hollywood has been here for years, and they have all this experience, and we're still talking about them as in trying to change how things are done. Because once they change things that are done, it starts to change for everybody else, trickle down the line. Give me one moment, you guys.
And like, just to like add what he was saying, it's like, Asians have got, in all Asian film, like Indians have gotten their. It's like, it's been a lot of other places that have gotten touching movies, and because that crazy Asian movie, like whatever it's called. I haven't seen the movie, but I heard it's a good movie. I mean, it won awards and all that stuff, but it wasn't a comedy. It was supposed to be a serious film, and that's what irritates me about about what we talked about last time. I just feel like they brainwash us to accept like the Medeas and the Kevin Hart's acting stupid. It's just like I was telling a friend, I was like, Kevin Hart is about to make a movie called Fatherhood, and anybody who's a father can understand take care of a kid, this and that. It looks like a really good movie, but it's not going to be received well because it's him in a serious state. It's just like that other film that he did where like he had to take care of that dude in a wheelchair and stuff. It didn't do that good. And it's like, oh, because everybody wants to see him just tell jokes and jokes and jokes and jokes. I mean, yes, at the end of the day, that's kind of his fault at the end of the day. But it just sucks. It's like you can't venture out as a young black actor. Like once you choose to do comedy, it's very rare that you can venture out and do other things. It's like, yes, back in the day, like look, Michael Will Smith did like Pursuit of Happiness and so on and so be it. But it's like that's like the only one that he gets praised for. Like he really doesn't get praised for 7 pounds. Like 7 pounds, a lot of people don't even understand that movie.
Yeah.
Like I mean, it. Yeah, like I mean, it's and it's not a bad movie, but it's like yeah, you might have to use your brain and think about it for a second. But Jesus Christ, use your brain to think about it. But it's like, but like that's what I'm saying. Like, Samuel Jackson has been in a lot of movies, like a lot of serious films, other than all the the Nick Furies and stuff like that. Like he's been in other really good movies. Other than
let's just take a moment to respect the fact that he coined motherfucker. All right.
No, and that's and Pulp Fiction was one of them movies. Like Jackie Brown was one of those movies. And he played these people really good, man. Back in the day, like a Kiss for Night, like that was a good movie. A movie where man, what was it? A movie where he was a homeless guy and he had dreads. Like that was a good movie.
I'm trying to remember, but it's not coming out right. Samuel L. Jackson, right? Who was the homeless guy with the dread? That's an old.
He saw a murder. He saw a murder, and they was trying. But I forgot the name of the movie. But those are serious movies, and like even the Denzel. And the only reason why I put him in that case is because he's not a comedy actor. So it's like he's always done serious films like Glory and so on and so be it. But that's another thing that I was telling people. It's like that's why they don't make like good the 2 slave movies that they just made with Django and 12 Years a Slave, which are both really good movies. But it's like it didn't really peg. I mean, obviously it wasn't supposed to, but it didn't peg white people in a good light. And it's like, man, and I told that to somebody. I was like, what do you mean? I was like, dude, have you ever seen Mississippi Burning? It's like that.
Oh my God,
like
man.
show that that didn't show all white people in a bad light. It's like Willem Dafoe himself was trying to help these people. But like I said, but that just goes back to my point of having the main guy over cat, or the main guy be over cat by white guy. It is what it is. but still a good movie. It's like we had more slave movies back in the day. It's like we had Rosewood, and we had so many black movies, and it's like serious black movies. It's like, and it kind of just stopped. But it's like we also had comedy movies, and we had
can't I
House
can't watch
Party, and
those
we had
movies.
and we had House Party, and we had Boomerang, and we had I could just keep naming black movies that they had serious movies and they had funny movies. But now it's just funny or superheroes. That's it. Funny or superheroes. Because that's all we can be. That's all we can be now. It's funny or superheroes.
Man, I can't watch those slave movies. Like it's something in me that's just like I can't do it. I seen Mississippi Burning when I was a little kid, and I still I remember it to this day. Without even having seen them, I remember it. But when it comes
And the
up
old
like
ones or the new ones? The old ones or the new ones?
I think the old one. The old one
Well, no,
with
whoa. And I'm asking you, you can't watch the old ones or the new ones?
oh, I can't watch the new ones. Like these movies that are coming out, it's like a really sensitive subject, especially because my mom, and I have family from Mississippi. So it's like my uncle, he was sorry, not my uncle, my grandfather was 108 when he passed away. So he was born in the 1800s. He went through all that stuff, right? And it's like a lot of stuff that I'm told that went down in Mississippi, yeah, but also in the backwoods in Mississippi, the country part. I mean, leave that off for a moment. I don't feel comfortable. Why? And I know those movies are made to make you feel uncomfortable because it's supposed to hit something like this is part of American history. But I just can't watch it. Like when they made that other movie, the one with what is it about, not about the Underground Railroad, but about the
Harriet?
one, yeah, Harriet. Like when they did
Harriet?
Harriet, I was just like, I can't do this. Why would they do that? Now, if it was a good movie, it was a good movie. If it was bad, it was bad. But me personally,
I mean,
I
I
just
watched the first half an hour of it, and it's deep, man. I will say that it's deep. I'll put it to you: how you feel about that movie is how I felt about Helma. I still haven't watched Helma to this day because the opening scene is of a house blowing up with a bunch of black people in it. Like I saw that and I turned the fucking movie off. I still haven't watched it to this day. It's one of the craziest things that I've ever seen. But another movie is Detroit. That movie was so hard to watch for me. Like it was crazy. Like if you get a chance, sit down and watch. Well, I mean, obviously you're not going to, but anybody else on this panel, like sit down and watch Detroit and just watch this movie, man. It'll especially now, it'll really hit you hard. Like I watched it almost like maybe like 7 or 8 years ago when it first dropped. But like if you watch it now, this just hits different. It literally just hits so much different.
I can bet on that. Probably because we have more. Well, we ourselves are more intelligent about it. Like, when we're watching it when we're younger, it's like one thing, and then as we're watching it when we get older, that's a totally another thing to take in. But man, I'm glad that they do put movies out like that. But at the same time, I'm like, I can't. I'm just not. If we can all see it together, I'll probably see it with people. But am I going to go see these movies by myself? No, I can't. I can't do that. I better hear that there were more white people in that movie theater though, watching that movie than it was black people. Man,
no doubt, no doubt. Well, I mean, I watch them. Like I think my son has watched a majority of them with me. I know that he wasn't that old, and I watched 12 Years a Slaves. I'm trying to think of. I think honestly, I think the only one he's watched with me repeatedly or religiously is Django, because every time I'm cleaning up the house, I either put Django on or like Justice League, just because
Yeah.
I need to kill Todd. But Django is a funny movie, so he'll sit there and watch that movie with me. Which I feel, I mean, he's only 8. He shouldn't watch it. Whenever he's out here, sit down and watch it, no parts of it, or whatever. But I feel like he gets a feel, hopefully, for without me actually having to sit down with him, teach him, or not teach him, but describe to him. Because I feel like you really can't teach kids about slavery, and because you can only describe something. And it's like, do I really want to give him the best picture out of my mouth of what these people went through? It's like I don't even know how to describe it. Like I can only describe it how I've seen it. And it's like sometimes I feel like that's not enough.
I understand what you mean, man. I think that when it comes to like that, it's the best thing to do is to go to the museum, and not like the one that we have out here, but there's like at the museum, and this is the sad part, that it's like it's part of the Smithsonian, and it's all the way out in Washington D.C. It's a African, it's an African, I forgot the exact term or name of it, but it's an African museum, and it gives us a good history of what it was when it was slavery, and even after that. It's a follow-up. I think when you follow up on these, when you do these things, you need to go from slavery to the 1950s, 40s, 60s, and 70s, and just talk about about how that era was and what we were fighting for during that point. So that gives you an overall picture of it. But as they're younger, it's like you're going to get this and you have a lot of questions. And sometimes it's like, I can't answer that question right now, or I can't really go into detail about the question because I got to look it up, read more into it myself. Like I know this, but in order to describe it to you so you can understand it, it's going to take me a little while. I just wish they had a museum spread out so that we can go and learn more about that. It's really like in the southern states, or they're like the original 13 states, you get a museum like that.
Does anybody have anything else to add to any of this?
I mean, not really. You guys are the movie buffs, so I haven't watched. Well, I'll just say this. I mean, particularly when it comes to movies, particularly the part when you talk about slave movies, because I grew up watching them just like all of us did. And I said this a long time ago because I spent so much time watching them and seeing them and learning about them that I said I refuse to watch another movie like this where seeing Black people in chains until I get kids, because I spent my whole entire childhood seeing them, talked about them. It's like there's not too much left that you could there's a lot I don't know, but there's not too much left that you can tell me how me experience. I'm just tired of seeing Black movies with in chains. Well, my fault, not this, but Black people in chains. That's kind of bad word. I didn't mean to say that. But I'm just tired.
And that's our word.
Yeah, right. But
right, that's a whole nother discussion right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But no, I'm just tired of it. I'm good. I'll wait till, like I said, once I have kids, I'll start watching them again. But until then, I said, nah. I spent my entire childhood from like all the way up till I want to say 17 or 18 watching them. I won't say I had enough in a lifetime, but I'm not going to watch them until I get kids. So
I still haven't seen The Color Purple.
To do it now, though. Honestly, I can understand where you guys say that. It's like me, I really don't take it, like that, because I don't mind watching those type of films. Like I said, Martin Luther King play. I mean, even though I grew up admiring Martin Luther King, even though I'm probably more like a Malcolm X now, but it's like just seeing that, like, because like I've seen every other one, but it's just seeing that, like I said, it was probably a great movie. I'm not gonna ever deny that, because that was a real movie. It's just like I tell people, Black Klansman is a great movie.
Yeah.
It's a great movie, even though it's based off a true story. Like, like Spike Lee did really good on that film. He, like, one of Spike Lee's, to me, best films ever. Like, I felt like Do the Right Thing, even though will go down as hands down as the best Spike Lee movie of all time. But Black Klansman is like number two. well, I mean, for me, He Got Game is good, but just to see a black guy infiltrate the Klan and it being based off of a true story is amazing. Yeah. It's amazing. Just to see how everything went down and just to see the ending, it was like, oh, it was so worth it. Such a racist movie, but 100% racist. It was, like I said, it's another movie that'll make you mad. It'll piss you off, but it's like once the ending, you're like, it was worth it.
There was
like, oh no, go.
There was this one, I can't remember what it was, but basically I forgot the movie what it was called. But I watched it with my family. And it was the movie with who was, I forgot the singer, but it was Malcolm X, Bo Jackson.
I know what you mean. I've seen that movie.
Yeah. And you see, I actually like that one because it was cool to see basically our black leaders, the black men who we all looked up to, or I should say our uncles probably more looked up to than we did, but definitely inspired us and stuff. And to see them, because that movie is like, it's like you just saw them as black men just shooting the shit, and that's what I liked about it. That movie was actually pretty good. Like, I actually did like it. I mean, I won't say it's the best movie I ever saw, but it's cool to just see, because I mean, we always see black people in like slavery movies or some dramatic roles and stuff, and just some things just like you already know, I have my issues with Beloved. I can't take that movie. Like, that movie drives me nuts. But to just see,
but that's a hard movie. All black people, like, all those old movies like Beloved or Eve's Bayou, like, you can't look at those movies and be like, yeah, this is black people. Because Beloved, I agree with you. That demon witch bull that they had going on, and that motherfucker made like I was on some or not but Get Out before Get Out. Like, that was weird. Like,
yeah.
I still haven't seen that movie yet.
You're not missing.
Don't bother.
You're not missing.
Yeah, don't bother.
You're not missing nothing.
I seen Us. I like that movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen Us yet. But I mean,
okay, but you like, man, like, those freak me out, man. Those two movies, Get Out and Us, man. And they freak me out so much. They're good because it's a small part of it. You feel like, damn, man, is this could this be possible? Like, that's what's so scary about those two movies, man.
Yeah, I just know.
I'm a
right. Well, that's why I'm laughing. Because it's true. You're right.
If I see another me, like, nah, bro. Like, and then because it's like we joke about this time. It's like, I could probably fight off another her, another one of my son, another one of my daughter, but another me, it's like, okay. And this dude has no filter. It's like, that's scary. It's like, I at least have somewhat of a filter or a conscience, but another unhinged me, oh my God, I'm gonna lose that fight. In my mind, I'm gonna lose that fight.
You're gonna know, man. You just need to turn around like what's his name? That one guy. The movie Friday, where he's like, "You want a piece of me, old man?" The guy was like, "Nope."
You can have this house and you can have this life. You earned it.
And you know what? I could say this since I know you so long. Like, yeah, you see, I think right now with you, I mean, I don't know. I think you have a chance, but if with the younger you, I'm sorry, bro. Unhinged younger you, I'm sorry, bro.
See, wait. The good thing about this is that you can go get a gun. At least that. Like, okay, what? Okay, you know what? No, I'll be right back. And then you come with the gun. Yeah, because I don't think they have.
But still, and a unhinged me, a young unhinged me. Oh my God! Like I said, a gun or no gun would not have. Like I was.
Yeah. Yeah.
It didn't matter. That
Yeah.
shit didn't matter back in the day.
Yeah.
It didn't matter. If you like, I was on the type of shit, if you was gonna pull it, you might well shoot me,
Mm-hmm.
but you know, so, but that's crazy, man. But I do agree with you guys. Like, yes, I mean, it is harder to watch those movies nowadays. Like I said, I could never go back and watch, like, Glory or like none of those older movies, man. Like, I couldn't watch.
I mean,
I couldn't watch them because no, I'm sorry.
and yeah, like I said, I mean, I have no problem with it, but I had to have kids first. Once I have kids, then yeah, we'll go back and watch all those. But until that day, I'm good. I've had enough for me solo for a lifetime.
It's just like roots. It's like you're not gonna, even if you have kids, you're not gonna sit down because like you can't just put roots on and be like, here, kids. Like you can't do that. Could you honestly say you could sit through like 6 hours of roots now, right now in 2021? Could you sit down even if your kids were older? Let's just say they're 11 and 12 and like, yeah, you got a son and a daughter who's like in the ranges of 11 and 12, maybe 13 years old, which is the capable age of kind of understanding what this is about. Let's just say if they have to do a report on it. Obviously, everything's online now, but it's like, no. You're like, no, I'm going to sit down here an hour a day, watch it with you 6 days, whatever, however you choose to play it out.
Yeah.
Do you think you can sit down and watch that movie from beginning to end, knowing the outcome? Like, honestly, I think that's why that our parents and everything, like, because it's very true. It's like I never used to watch my aunts or uncles or whoever watch like slavery movies because I think they just know, like, dude, we know the outcome. And it's like I think that's the hardest part now. It's like watching Roots now. It's like, you're gonna have so many questions on why these people did this, and it's like, and then kids are so smart now. It's like they're gonna be like, why is it continuously to happen? And then it's like, damn, now you got two questions to ask that, or I'm sorry, to answer that you can't even. I feel like kids shouldn't even watch Roots. Like, I feel like you shouldn't even put that burden on a child because to this day, I'm not mad I watched it, but I am mad that I was so young. Like, I watched that 6th grade. Like, I was kind of mad that I was, so young because we did have white kids in our class. Like, we watched that. We watched Schindler's List.
Yeah.
We watched all that shit. And Frank. It's like they used to teach us about this shit at a very young age. And we sat there and watched all six tapes of that shit. We sat there, man. And like I'll never forget our teacher's age, man. He was like an old black guy, man. He looked like Afro Thunder. He had an afro and everything, man. He came straight out of the 70s Cadillac with some bell bottoms on. And like he was just sitting in class with fist ball the whole time. And once the class was out, busted out the door. And to this day, like I never understood why. Like every year, it just makes like that just stayed with me to this day. Like he didn't want to talk to nobody, nothing. And it's like I wish that I could go back and ask him like why he felt like that. But I think he felt like how I feel now. It's like I want to like. You shouldn't be showing kids this. Like, I mean, you shouldn't even make people relive this. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, I'm not saying kids don't need to know about it, but I mean, I don't know.
Well,
that's just me.
Well, to answer your question, I mean, I would say for me, like I told you, I could do it if I had kids, but I think, like you said it, an hour a day, because yeah, I can't sit there for 6 hours and watch it. It's like how I used to watch a lot of those movies back in school. We only watched like up so much like during a class, and we'll go out, then we'll come back the next day and watch it. I would do that, but I can't go 6 full hours that long. I mean,
nobody can.
Yeah, nah, no way. But yeah, no, I could definitely. I mean, sure. I remember when. Fuck, I know it's kind of changing, but I remember when we had to watch Gone with the Wind. That was miserable. I mean, at least we had to do shit or no homework. That's why I was happy about it. But man, watching Gone with the Wind for that long was. I mean, the only great thing was we did not have to do any homework. That's the only thing that made it worth it. Like we had like I want to say a month.
The one with Evan Hawker, right?
The original one.
Oh,
That's
dude, okay.
some-
I don't know about
I'm
that.
trying to remember if I had. I don't think I have.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen that one either.
Yeah, we had to watch the old original one. That crap went for. Like I said, it's too bad B wasn't here because B was in my class and we had to watch it. But the only good news is that we didn't have to do anything. We didn't have to do any homework. But that took so long to watch. It took forever. It was brutal. So I mean, I think that's worse than Roots just because of the length. Hello?
I've been learning a lot more information on the Native Americans too, man. Like, it's fucked up. It is it's well, we all know it's fucked up, but did you know the majority of their bones, everything that they are, culture is in the Smithsonian museums and museums? It's like not containers and drawers full of bones. It's like when a Native American would die or pass away in like in the 1800s, early 1900s too, they wouldn't like give their bones to the police or to like a mortician or anybody like that, or their body. They would call the museum up and the museum would come and take their body. And that's what happened to their bodies. And even to this day,
wow.
like, it's been laws that have just been passed where they can fight to get their, not just them, but everyone can fight to get their cultural materials and back, but they have to go through this whole process, and the museum has to be the one to decide if they're going to give it back to them or not. But even for us, like for the Benin country, the country of Benin, which is now modern day, damn, I forgot what it is, but it's modern day something. And they're fighting to get the Benin's bronzes back from all over the majority of it is from the British museum, but then we also have a couple that are in the German museum and the Ireland museum, but they've decided to give those back. The British museum. They don't
like I really don't know so much about Native Americans, man. I'm not even gonna act like I do. That's one history that I just don't like speaking on because I'm not saying that they weren't here first. People didn't, take it from them or whatever. But I'm kind of like 50-50 with that because it's like, we're here because people did. I'm not saying that it's not messed up, but we're here because of it. I'll just say it like that. And it's messed up to say it like that, but it's like, what if they didn't do what they did? It's like, where would we be? Where would our lives be? So that's how I kind of look at it.
Let's just be honest. I mean, there's no part of this modern society that was not built based on invasion and wars. What modern country today was not built off of bloodshed and war and people taking
sacrifice?
Everything, every country. I mean, don't get me wrong, you're right. It is messed up to talk about, but I mean, it's the truth. Majority of the countries today were founded based on war and invasion and territory. Whether it's like, I don't know, just for example, you look at like Japan. Japan were like single different, like they had their own, town, their own areas, and then they, went to a war. Somebody took the entire country over, and Japan became one country. Same thing happened with China. Let's just be, same thing that happened in some European countries. Every modern country pretty much was basically designed and built on, I can't think of the right word, but basically invasion and bloodshed. So, I
I mean,
It's
that's true, but
basically
there's one main part to that is that
Africa is in genocide, and yeah, no, I mean, like I said, I agree. I mean, I don't, like I said, I don't like admitting it because, like I said, I do know a couple of Indian people. We're not like full Indian, but people who have part Indian in them.
I mean, I technically have part Indian in me.
Yeah, well, like, I mean, if you trace your lineages back far enough,
Yeah.
my good girlfriend has like 3% black in her, other than me, No, I'm just honest, but it's like, she did that whole ancestry shit, and like I said, she got like 3% African American, so and who would have knew at the end of the day, right? But so it's like if you trace your heritage back, like I still have my ancestry DNA kit down there that I haven't even done. I don't even know if it's still good or not, to be honest with you. I have no idea. But I've had it for like a year or two. Like I think it's like two or 3 years just been sitting down there. But like I'm like the whole Uncle Huckus thing. I'm scared it's gonna be like I get more black and more darker every year, so I'm good. I don't even want to know type. I got this feel like some people who figure that out get some shit that they don't want to hear, because if it's like, oh yeah, I'm like 30% like Chinese or something, I'm gonna be really pissed off. Like, where did this happen? Like, when did this happen?
No. I mean, if you really want to know something, did you? I don't know if you. I think we talked about it before, but I'm going to bring it up again. Did you ever watch that one video of that one black girl that did an ancestry test and found out she was European?
And you said
no,
full European?
Yeah, she was full European.
I think he was on the news or something like that. I think I did see something like that. I think I did.
Yeah. So Adam, since you said I don't know where the video's at, but yeah. So this black girl did a DNA test and her ancestry test, and like she was like fully like African, like she was all about the African culture, and she was like, ooh, that's all so happy. Did she open it and found out she was European?
Was this a skit or was this real?
It's real.
No. It was real, man.
It was real. But she was crying.
If you've been living by like a way of life, for like, let's just say 30, 40 years, and you do this ancestry, and then you come to find out that this ain't even who you are. Like, you've been told a lie, man. That's crazy.
Yeah. No, and she's fully black, but she's European. Like, damn.
So she's like 100% European, or like 80% or something like that, a high number.
Yeah, she's European. Her ancestors come from Europe.
Yeah, it's like she was mostly European.
Yeah,
she was mostly European. I feel like
I'm only asking. I have to ask: is she like black European or is she like white European? Because
no, she's black. She's black.
Yeah, but I mean, her ancestors, were they black Europeans in Europe?
Dude. Oh, well, who knows?
Who knows? Who knows?
But okay, but no. But the point that he's trying to make is that her whole culture was basically like African. Like, she was African tribes. Like, she was dressed in all that stuff. Yeah. So then come to find out, even though it shouldn't change who you are, but you get that news, you can't help but to be like, damn. Like, I thought I was this way, but I did this ancestry, and my DNA is saying I'm a whole different way. Like, I'm just a whole different person. Like, she thought she was African, but as so she lived by that African way of life with the dashikis and the obscene outfits and all this stuff. Like, honestly, I think she even sounded African. Like, had that little accent and everything. So now you find out you're like 60% European. And, that'll confuse and piss off anybody at the end of the day.
You know what she should have done? I would have loved this. I know it was a real thing, right? But she should have just checked her credit score as soon as she said that and found out. See what happened. Did after she said what she was.
Be like, we need to get this straight.
Shut up.
I mean, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, since we're all black here. Is she allowed to anymore? I just want to know.
I mean,
should she get that?
I mean, if she got some African and everything, yeah. I mean, like, I don't remember what the percentage. Okay, actually, another question is a person who has 3% African in them allowed to. That's an even bigger question.
You know what? No, I think it's more so not even the percentage that you have in you, because you might not know. I think it's how the shade you are. If you are darker and you say it, then of course. But if you're lighter and you say it, you know, people are going to stare at you a little bit longer and be like, oh, okay, you know, before it gets to the point. I think so. I think that's what it really is.
I'll say this. I'll say this. I mean, I definitely think like because I have family members that okay. But yeah, I have family members that are half black. And I would say this. I would sorry, that buzzing throwing me off.
Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah, no, that's cool. But yeah, no, I would say this. That yeah, you're right. You know, if you're especially knowing people who are mixed and who are lighter skinned, yeah, if you don't look black, I mean, if you don't look black but you're half black, you're right. You'll get a look and people look at you like, what the? But then once you say I'm half black, they'll kind of like let it slide. So it's one of those things where it's like, depending on your percentage, it's like you know, like if you don't look black but you're like half whatever, you could questionably say it's what I like to say. You're gonna get questioned.
Okay.
But once you say it,
okay.
That you're in.
Let me ask this then. Okay, is Steph Curry allowed to say? Is he allowed to?
Yeah.
If you didn't know his parents, if you didn't see his parents, and you just saw him, okay, so he's allowed to.
Yeah.
What about Klay Thompson? Because he. Like, if you never would have saw his parents, you never would have saw anything about him. It's like, because he looks like a white guy. Like, or actually, I'll even do you one better. If Logic didn't show his father, and like he just said the word, and Logic looks like a straight up white guy, but Logic is half black.
And I already said it. I said you'll be questioned, and you're gonna have to show your credential to be like, all right, good. So
what if I said it?
Here we go.
What if I said it?
No, you're allowed to.
Bring it. What if I said it? Bring it. I ain't checking no credentials. Check my temperature.
Okay, this is what I think. This is what I think on the fact of the matter is, it depends on who you're around. So it depends, just like the whole thing about where you grew up at. If you grew up in the hood and you stayed around these people that you've always been around, these are your homies, this is your family and friends, then you can say it. It's not the fact of being allowed to say it, because you can say it even if you didn't, you know, who can stop you from saying it?
I agree with that 100%. I agree with that 100%.
It's just you're going to be more comfortable saying it in a context because you are going to feel like you belong. And with this group of specific people, this is the language that's being said all the time. And, you know, even without the group of people, just where you're at, if you hear it all the time, you're going to pick up on the language anyway, you know? And it's just that whole thing. Like, yeah, you can say it around me, you can say it around them, but don't go around saying it over here with these people you don't know. Yeah. And please don't get drunk and say the word, because I think that's when it really starts to.
If you grew up in Crenshaw as a white person and you hung around black people and they were fine, and that group of black people were fine with you saying it, do not go to Compton saying that. like, you know, it's like I get it. I get that.
But at the same time, it also ain't like, you know, like when we were younger either. Like, because I know when I used to live in the Bay Area, and I'll never forget this, because I remember, I forgot where I was exactly was at, but I remember it was this white dude, and this white dude said, I think I wanted to basically he said, I forgot exactly the context. It's been so many years, but he basically, and I, you not every black person, I don't know where the hell they came out of nowhere to confront this white dude. And I'm like, oh shit.
I was like, a car. That's what he might as well say. He might as well sign his death warrant, especially as like you said, especially in the 90s. It's like anybody can say that now, and it's like because like I pick up the kids from school, and if you heard the way these kids talk to one another, you would think these are kids on cell block B, man. These kids suck my. I was like, oh my God, they're like, these kids is like 6, 7, 8, 9 years old, talking worse than we talk. And I'm just like, what the hell is going on here? And like, I mean, these kids have no respect, and then they're filthy. They're just nasty. I was like, I mean, I was like, I don't think I was that bad as a kid, man. I mean, because my aunt was really big on wash your hands, but I like these kids was outside camp, so I went to go, do whatever. And these kids was outside eating chips, and the kid, like, they live in an apartment building, and this kid just goes and pisses on the side of somebody's house. He goes back, puts his hand in the chip bag. The other kids put their hands in the chip bag. I'm like, what the f is going on here?
They don't know.
I'm like,
they don't know.
Right here is. I was like, oh my God. See, this is why my kids don't go outside. Right here. I got virtual reality play. Y'all can play outside on virtual. It can be Ready Player One in this motherfucker because y'all not going outside. Y'all not going outside. I saw that and I was just like, for one, you piss on the side of somebody's apartment right next to their door. They didn't care. They didn't care if the person was home or not. I just could not imagine that this little kid did that. And I'm just like, and then had the audacity to shake his hands off. So as a man, you know what that means. You shake your hands off or rub your hands on your shirt and then dig your head back in the Cheeto bag, bro. Like, that's disgusting. That's some disgusting. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, is the least of my worries behind these motherfuckers. Yes.
I know. I don't. You guys barely even hear me say the word. It takes for me to really get angry for me to even start going down that line of saying that. Like, but other than that, yeah. Gee, how many times have you actually even heard me say that word?
I never thought about it, but I had to think about it. I mean, do you mean now or back when we were in high school?
In general.
In general.
I would say this. I've heard you say it more when we were younger than when I hear you say it now. I could say that much.
I was about to say, I mean, me looking back on it, I don't think I've ever heard him say it. Maybe it might have been back in school.
Yeah.
Maybe if I really had to dig in the archives. But I mean,
bro, I'm not gonna lie. I thought you were about to say, yeah, I never said it when I was in high school. You were damn lie.
No. I say that. I don't say it as much now, especially like when I'm like I'll say it on here, but when I'm like I don't say it as much. I say it like, but I used to say it religiously. It might have been like it should have been the I and N for me. Like literally, it was like the back in the day for me. So, but I try to not say it as much now. I try to not cuss as much now, but it's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's like as much as I don't want to, but I'm an adult. I realized that. I mean, I had to be reminded of that because I was like, okay, I don't want to, because I was like to her, I was like, okay, I don't want to have to cuss in a conversation, but obviously that's unrealistic. And I can honestly say she called me out on that. Yes.
I mean, I would say
tell
this.
her to not cuss, and I'll be cussing.
I mean, I'll say this, bro. You are way better than what you used to be.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
Woo, man.
You like back in the day, anybody was to me. So, but
man.
and
that's the thing. That's not even happening. You were ruthless back in the day. Too.
Yeah, no,
like,
I didn't care. You was your mama was daddy was your grandma was the whole food was
like okay,
You could've just-
I don't want to say his name on the podcast, but let's just say one of our old friends, he went out with a girl and I pulled you not.
Oh yeah. But I like I said, I feel like that was constructive criticism. Now that I look back on it, that was me being a friend.
What?
It was me being a friend.
Oh my god!
I mean, I said some messed up stuff about her, but I mean, I know I wasn't the only one. I just feel like I'm the only one who had the balls
but
to say
nobody said it as loud to like the whole school and blurted it out so everybody could hear it. Like Friday,
she didn't hear it. So like
I
feel
need
like
to
as
hear
long as
what
she didn't
happened.
hear it, then what is it?
oh dude, it's so
Like
bad.
I
I need to have an
she's
understanding of what
fine.
happened.
He's fine. They've both lived on to live great lives now, hopefully.
Oh,
But like I said, it's just certain things that I can't say that, like I said, I mean, it wasn't even her per se. It was just like she, her mole, bro. Her mole. And I'll never forget that mole. It's like
Her
you shouldn't
mole?
have had a mole in that position.
oh my god!
How do you wait? What?
Oh, he was so.
Like I felt
How do
like
you
fucking
choose to
Austin
have a mole in
Powers.
a position? What position
I
was
felt
it?
like Austin Powers calling out Fred Savage. Like, come on, bro.
Oh, dude.
Did you
Look
poke
at
it with a
that mole.
stick?
God,
Come on.
Keith.
No,
Oh,
nobody
Did you poke it with a
said
stick,
anything.
man?
Oh,
She had. I mean, I do that now too, though, and because she has a friend. Actually, I don't want to say it because she might watch this one day. But she has a friend that has a distinct trait, and like I say it so much, and she's like, "Oh no, she's not that bad. She's pretty and stuff like that." I'm just like, I can't see anything but this trait. I don't care about anything else. But it's just this one thing that just burns into my that's the only thing. Like I like your whole body might as well just be this one thing I see. Like I don't see anything else. And and then I'll just fixate on it. And I think that's where I get bad. And every time I see that person, that's all I say. It's all I see. And I'm just like, oh God, it's hard to hold a conversation with this person because all I see is this. Like,
Does it get bigger? Does it start to get bigger? Do you see it getting bigger?
I'll put it to you like it doesn't get bigger, it gets longer. I will say that.
Longer?
It gets longer. It gets longer. I'll just leave you with that.
all I want to
It's
say,
just weird.
all I want to say to anybody that's listening to this podcast that you're dealing with the ninth Keith, whatever that means to you, because I'm telling you, younger Keith was ruthless.
Yeah, actually, speaking of that, yesterday at work, last night, a guy from the job corps, one of my old friends, man, he saw me there, and he was talking about those times with me, and then he described what happened to me because, like, I tell people what happened and why I got kicked out of the job corps or whatever.
Yeah,
But he described to me the fight. It's just like how you described to me that fight back in high school. Like, I can't really remember what happened. Like, I was there. It is what it is. But when people tell me these things, I'm like, there's no way I did all of that. Like, get over yourself. I didn't do all of that. But this dude was describing to me what happened. And it's like, I did what I did to this dude, and then I walked away. So I didn't see this dude till a couple hours later in the dean's office. And this dude was like, I'm still seeing red for one, but like when I look back on it, this dude's kind of like in the fetal position, curled up, holding his arm. So my friend was like, yeah, man, like when you did what you did, you went. So he was like, yeah, after you beat him up and did what you did, and then you threw him into the wall, you dislocated his shoulder. I was like, bro, shut the fuck up. But then now that I look back on it, and I'm like, he was holding his arm. And I'm like, oh my God, I broke this man's shoulder. Like, I was like, this. And so it took me back to when you told me, like, oh man, yeah, you busted up the dude's mouth. I'm like, bro, I didn't do any of that.
No. Hold on. Let me tell it because no. I like people go to that. No.
Oh my God.
What you got to understand when he said busted up his lip, I just want to make sure people understand. It ain't like he punched him. Like I've seen people get the lips busted up and whatever. No, all he did was push this dude in his head, like just pushed him and busted his lip open. Keith, I'm telling you, that dude is strong. I'll never forget.
Like I said,
hold on, wait. Let me say this part. Adam, are you there?
I'm still here.
Understand. And Keith even said this to us. Me and one of our other friends that we know, I won't say on the podcast, that we know, we're trying to hold it back. And even he said, the only reason why you held me back was because I let you hold me back. And I can agree with that. Because he wasn't trying to hurt us. He was trying to hurt him. And I'm telling you, man, after he pushed him and he buzzed up his lip, Keith was like, nah, I'm going to, fuck him up. That dude did not want nothing to do with him. The whole entire time. Like, he was trying to, square. This was like trying, like, he was like squaring up if I had to, but like, I don't want no part of this.
What happened? Like, what happened for to get there? What did he do?
He was just hold on one sec.
I mean, long story short, man, we was playing basketball like we normally do. He was starting. He threw the ball at me. I reacted. Basically.
He did. I forgot about that. He did throw the ball.
He threw the ball at me. Like, I mean, for one, Adam, you know how competitive we were playing basketball. And this dude was just an extra. I don't even think he really knew how to play like that. Like, so he was just an extra. So I don't know if I was like, I don't know if he was sticking me and I was just bodying him. I think that's what was happening. Like, I was making a fool out of this guy. Because, like, I know that he wasn't on the same team because that just be dumb for him to even do that. But I think I was just solely disrespecting him, and he got mad because, like I said, I was just shacking him. I was trying to back people down. See, I was a bully like that,
Oh, hold on, wait. Let me say this. He wasn't a bully in high school. I can admit that, but yeah, he could bully people in the paint. Let's just clarify that.
Yeah, I personally did that, but like I said, I think that's what happened. And then I was walking to go check the ball, and he threw the ball at me, so I reacted. Like, that's what happened. And I think that was
that's how I see it.
Yeah, like exactly.
Yeah, but see, that's not the point of the story. The point is, I've never seen a dude just push. I got pushed in my head and never got, but this dude, never seen it before. A dude just pushed somebody in his face and then busted his lip all the way open. I was like, it's like
was
this.
He like what was he, a small person? A skinny ass person?
No, he wasn't skinny. He was.
Compared to me, he was a little dude. I'll put it to you like that.
Dude, everybody's a little dude to you. Listen to me, Adam, because everybody's a little dude to him. No, he was like a little bit taller than me. But he was like, I don't want to say he was in shape, but he was like, he wasn't like heavy set, but he was stocky. He was the kind of stocky dude. He was a stocky like white. But I bullshit you not, dude. I've never seen it. I've never seen a dude just push somebody in the head and just bust their lip open. I'm like, that's the day I'm like, yeah, Keith is strong.
But then, like I said, and then this guy that recently had job corps, it's like, because he was telling me, he was like, I was like, dude, what the hell started? He was like, he tried to hit you with the pool stick, and you grabbed the pool stick. I was like, oh shit, I remember that. I was like, yeah, because he was getting ready to swing on me, and then I grabbed it, and then I punched him in the face. Like, and this is the sad part, because it started coming back to me like a little bit, even though I still don't remember. He was like, you punched him in the face, but then you just kept going. You wouldn't stop. And I was like, no. I was like, that's not what happened. Like, he was like, and then you picked him up, threw him in the wall, and left. I was like, what kind of monster was I back then? I was like, I wouldn't do nothing like that. I can't remember for the life of me what happened, man? And I like, man, it's just been racking my brain, man. It really has. I was like, damn, I was a fucking monster back in the day.
Bro,
I was a damn demon.
Bro, you accidentally broke a sink on accident. An entire sink.
Hey, I sent you that in confidence. I sent you that in confidence. To this day, I don't know how that happened. I plead the fifth on that because I was washing my hands and then leaned on the sink, and I felt like, you know, the whole Wolverine scene when he was playing with his claws. The next thing he know, he just cut the sink up, you know. Like I literally was washing my hands and I was splashing water in my face because, like, man, we still had a whole truck to unload. And then the next thing I knew, like, I was so tired that day too. And then, like, I didn't hit the sink, but I leaned on it and the whole thing just shattered. I think I still have that picture. I still got that picture to this day. And I was just
I need to see the picture. I can believe it though, but I want to see the picture. Did you should have been like, I didn't do it. It was like that when I got there.
No. I mean, I had to explain to the job that I broke the thing. I mean, I didn't lose my job or nothing like that. You know, it was at work. Yeah, I was at work when that happened. I'm gonna look right now, see if I can send it to you.
The feats of strength that Keith would exhibit from time to time. Didn't see it very often. Try to be humble about it, but man.
That's why I don't sit on all chairs to this day.
Oh yes.
Because I don't sit on all chairs. I don't do a lot, man. I don't do a lot.
Man.
Because I've broken a lot in my day that I regret. Because I'm just either too big, too heavy, or too strong. One or the other.
Man.
I'm not proud of it. I was like, damn, man, is this how Shaq feels in certain things? Like, he just can't, like, is this why he has to get, like, custom made for himself? I was like, damn.
Oh,
like, dude, do you know how it is? Like, okay, if you're at a friend's house and you break a chair, that's one thing. But imagine being out and about and sitting down and a chair collapses and then try to be like, oh no, you know, the chair was already weak. Well, nobody else's chair is doing this.
Play it off so you don't have to pay for it.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's why. I mean, it's too bad that Keith was more into basketball than football, because it's true, man. If he would have gone to, because one thing I'll say about him that a lot of people don't know is that like, this dude was big, but for his size, he was quick. I won't say he was necessarily fast, but he was quick and pretty athletic for his size. And it's like, man, if this dude, I agree with the coach back then. If this dude would have gone to football, man, I think this dude would have been like a freaking beast.
Yeah, man. Why didn't you get into football? Was it just more, you were more interested in basketball?
Just a lack of support, man. I wish, like I said, how my family was back then, it was just pure mental, psychological, that they didn't want to pay for. So it's like, you know, it's just like when the whole world sees your talent, but, you know, your family makes up every excuse because they don't want to pay for something or do something. Like, well, I mean, that's how I feel about it, because, like I said, when the whole world is telling you something and your family is looking you dead in your face and being like, oh, I don't think I can ever see you doing that. You know, that's kind of like, okay. Like, you should never tell a kid that, to me personally.
Yeah.
I agree with you with that, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm telling you, man, if he
would have done that'll break anybody.
I mean, I know probably nobody would probably believe me because they weren't there, but I'm here to tell you that if this dude would have probably gone to football field, I think he would have been in the NFL. Absolutely. I know. I mean,
you didn't have I forgot his name, but the coach before he went to at Christian school up the street from Lancaster High, he didn't come try and talk to you and recruit you.
One of the coaches, I forgot.
Man, if you're
ahead.
talking about Coach Parker, it's like he only did basketball. Our team sucked too, man. Like, that was another thing. It's like, I mean, I feel like even if I did play basketball at Lancaster High, I mean, I don't think it would have got me anywhere. Like, I mean, I would have had to move because, like, I did have a second chance at it. Like when I came out here to Vegas, but it was a choice to either pursue football or be there for my son being born. So I made a choice, and I stand and I stand by that choice.
Yeah,
you know.
No argument here. No argument here.
I mean, yes. I mean, if I knew everything I knew now, I'd probably still do the same thing because me and my son's bond is, like I said, I mean, it's unbreakable. So, I mean, I couldn't imagine not being here for him. Like, yeah, you know, that's one of the things that always scared me. I mean, I hate to sound like that or say it. I mean, it's not an excuse or nothing like that, but like, I mean, I had a choice to make. I wish I would have done it because of everything I knew now about the money and struggle and shit like that. Yeah, you know, I would have been like stuck at the. I just didn't want to be like, you know, so many dads before us, you know.
Yeah.
That's all that it was, man.
Yeah.
Like choosing, you know, even though our dads didn't choose cash, you know, or whoever dads didn't choose cash, you know, I know my Jack, he died when I was 3 because he chose the streets. But, you know, I always hear these kids always say, oh, I wish you were there over having the cash, but you're always like, come on, really? Like, I mean, really? I mean, at the end of the day, but like I said, man, as I can honestly say and just dealing with the stereotypic things as a black man, I just didn't want to deal with that. I mean, like I said, cash wise, I do regret it because I wish that sometimes I did have the money more than anything because I wouldn't care what team I played for. I wouldn't care anything about that. Like, I wouldn't care about championships. I wouldn't care about any of that because football is not my first love. I would have literally just played for money. Like, I would have been the Russell Westbrook of football. Like, I would have just solely played for money. Like, and fame. I don't even care about championships. I don't even care. And I would make that well known. I'd be the best at my position, but winning championships would literally mean nothing to me.
Yeah. And yeah. And you know, and I get it. I can't even argue that point. I mean, of course, all I could say is, man, like I wish, but it's like I get it because, dude, I don't think anybody. I mean, yeah, no, I don't think anybody. Again, nobody will ever believe me because they weren't there. Only people who were there can say it. But man, if only you would have listened. Cause I remember when the coach came and talked to you. I was even telling you, like, man, yeah, I mean, you should do it. But I mean, I get it. But it's like, man. But again, like, I mean, like I always told you, man, as long as you're happy with the decision you make, you're never gonna hear an argument from me, you know?
Yeah.
No, that's just
hands down, man. Like I said, I feel like we as individuals need to stop putting honestly, like need to stop putting each other's decisions down. It's like you and me have talked for years about, you know, I feel like you should have did this. You know, I should have did that, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, you know, I think probably like a year or two ago, it's like, yeah, I mean, as much as I feel like, or not felt like you should have been doing other things because you have nothing to hold you back. Like no kids, no this, no that. But it's like, I mean, you chose what you chose, man. I mean, I can't get mad at what you chose just because you got it a little bit easier than me, or like, you know, you got a whole house to yourself, you got multiple cars to drive, you got this.
Well, hold on, I don't have all of that.
I'm no. Not now. I'm talking about through your whole life. Through your whole life, it's like you had those things, and like I said, we as black men don't really honor what we all have instead of like putting each other down and be like, man, you should have did this, you should have did that. Even though that's not what we're trying to do. But it's like, I know that's what society has always taught us. It's like, oh man, if you're tall, you should have did this and you should have did this. If you're tech smart, you should have did this, you should have did that. It's like if you went to college, you should have did this, you should have did that. Or like I said, it's always something, it's always something. And like, I could be like, Adam should have did this, Adam should have did that. But like as you get older, and you see Adam as a father and as a husband, you're like, damn man, he did good for himself. I'm glad he found what he found. It's like, yeah, you can be doing anything at this point in time. Oh man, I know a lot of people probably told you in your past, it's like, you shouldn't have had kids so early, or you should have did this, you should have did that. And it's like, bro, I'm alive. I'm not in jail. You should just be happy on those two things. Like, because how many black people can't even say it? How many young black men can't even say that? Well, like, how many young black men can't even say that, like, they're alive? Or
you know what? That reminds me of a
hold on.
Story.
I want to say this because I kind of want to more generalize this conversation a little bit more. And kind of like what you're saying. I mean, and I get it. I mean, I'll say this. I look at it in two ways. Like when it comes to you, I mean, like when you give me advice on how I felt, the one reason why, and it's different when it's coming from a friend to somebody else, because I know, like, when it's coming from you or coming from somebody else, I know you have my best interest at heart. Like it's not coming in a way to be like, well, F you or you can't be nothing. It's coming in a way where it's like, I just see better for you. Like I mean, I'll say this. I'll say this one thing. The only thing that I was ever against that you ever chose, honestly, that I was like, I don't really like, was you trying to go into boxing. That's the only thing. Only because I've seen the results of that. Yeah. Other than that, I'm in pretty much cool with everything. So
hold up, wait. I'm gonna get on with you guys a little bit later. My son is up doing stuff, so I'm gonna get off. I'm gonna talk to you guys a little bit later.
Hold on. Before you go, man, you want to shout out your social media where people can find you?
Oh yeah, it's I forgot my social media. Hold on. It's let me look on my phone because it's been a while.
Seems like it.
Oh wow. I gotta turn this fan on.
It's the Rambo ammo, but you have to put the I think you have to put the underscore underneath in between Rambo and ammo.
All right.
Oh wow.
Rambo ammo at Instagram, because before these whole almost 6 months came, I had ammo like Rambo.
Let me say this: which Rambo are you? First Blood or Rambo?
Whichever one is the biggest.
You gotta choose, man.
Whichever one is the biggest Rambo.
No, it's all about that original, man. It's all about that First Blood, man. First Blood and First Blood 2. Anything after that, he was just trying too hard.
I gotta go back and I gotta buy all of them because it's been a while since I even seen Rambo. Like, it's been
they're good.
Long ass time.
Like honestly, so often I always do like a slide marathon or like an Arnold marathon and just watch all their movies, man. Every so often.
See, I went and I got the old school Predator with Arnold in it. They had it at Best Buy. I got the old one and I got the new one. And I heard I haven't seen them. I haven't seen the new one yet, but I heard that. Well, I'm not gonna ruin anything, but it seems like it might be a number 2.
I mean, I've seen it. It's
yeah. I've heard that.
It's
Don't ruin it. Don't ruin it.
I'll just say this much because I haven't seen it, but I'll say this much. Hollywood these days is just trying too hard. That's the best way I could put it.
Hollywood, that is the best way to put it. Everything is bigger, louder, and absurd. I will say that.
Don't forget to say it explodes for no reason. Just blows up.
Like I said, if it's a Michael Bay film, yes, you're gonna get a lot of those Transformer explosions
and lens flares and random lens.
I forgot what movie it was, but it was a car that exploded for no reason. I think something happened It was just something small, and the car just blew up, and I was just like,
Yep,
what the
that's
fuck? Like, that was the only moment.
Yep. That sounds like a Michael Bay film.
I'm gonna catch you guys later.
All right, man.
All right, man.
All right.
All right.
I'm gone.